After the match was over between Barcelona and AC Milan, Xavi Hernandez did say this: with the departure of Dembélé, we do need a pure right back, and that, my friends, is going to be the reason why we are going to be starting this video with Barcelona looking for a brand new right back, because it is quite clear that because right now we don't really have a direct replacement of Dembélé, it's quite clear that Barcelona will try and make up for it by having a right back who shows similar qualities to Dembélé. So it's almost like we need to have two different players on the right side to show the two different qualities that Dembélé shows, which is him going central and creating, and him going wide and making those crosses. Those two traits will be divided by two people, and that is why Xavi Hernandez is saying, okay, Rafinha can provide the creativity on the right side when he does go central, but I need a player who can go out wide and make those crosses. And the player that does come into mind, it is João Cancelo, a player that we have referenced multiple times. You can see that everything is adding up. If you combine Cancelo's crossing to Rafinha's ability to create when he is inverting, you do get Dembélé. So it's clear that the project that Xavi is building does include Cancelo, and Cancelo knows this. He knows the importance that he does bring to this club, and Xavi, I believe, has talked to him and said, hey, look, this is going to be the reason why you're going to be seeing a lot of minutes, you're going to get a lot of game time, you are very important, and you're very much needed. And it does say here, according to Fernando Polo, that João Cancelo is willing to lower his salary to join Barcelona. He is willing to put a lot of effort into his transfer as long as it ends up with him as a Barcelona player. So it's very similar vibes to how Vitor handled the operation to Barcelona, and also with Koundé last year when he was like, I only want to go to FC Barcelona and I'm willing to wait. We love these type of stories because we know how they end. We've seen this movie many times. When we see a player saying, I only want Barcelona, I'm willing to lower my salary. Yes, I know that I have other clubs in Europe that want to sign me and want to give me a bigger wage, but that does not matter. I only want Barcelona at whatever cost. And usually when we see players have that type of approach during the transfer window, it's showing us that the player really does want to be at the best sporting project. He does not want to be at the best team that gives him the best wages. And the players that usually pick the best sporting project are the players that do want to win in top European football, because they know that the real prize does come in the end. And so I'm happy with the way that João Cancelo is approaching this whole thing. I truly believe that because of this attitude, he'll come to Barcelona and work very hard and make sure that he delivers and brings what he needs to bring based off what Xavi does want from his right back. Cancelo is a pure right back. He is a player that brings multiple assists, multiple goals. We have seen him perform solid at Bayern Munich, and we have seen him perform very well with Manchester City over the years. So Barcelona are starting talks. It says here, according to Sport, that Barcelona are in official talks with Man City for João Cancelo. They prefer to sell him permanently though. Now this is normal, like every club always wants to sell their player permanently to get the funds up front, but it is going to take some negotiations. And as of now, the only thing we know about these negotiations is this: Barcelona clearly do want to loan out Cancelo for the first year, and these are going to be the list of things that Man City are going to be placing on this loan deal. There's going to be a 10 million euro loan fee with a salary of 40 million euros that we're going to have to pay to Cancelo, and then lastly, there is going to be a buy option by the end of the loan, which will be in summer 2024, for a total of 40 million euros. So starting with the loan fee, this is normal. We always see a lot of loan fees happen in the world of football. To pay 10 million euros, I believe that Barcelona will fall through. Now the 40 million euros in salary for the first year, I do think that that is where Barcelona are going to be finding the problem, because Sport continues to say that at the moment Barcelona are not willing to pay a total of 24 million euros for Cancelo's loan, which is adding the 40 million euros of the salary plus the 10 million euro loan fee. Barcelona simply don't want to do that. I have a strong feeling that Barcelona will negotiate with City and say, hey, look, we understand that his salary is 14 million euros. Can we split this salary and have City pay the 7 million and have Barcelona pay the other 7 million? And this type of deal is possible. I remember Barcelona did this with Real Betis, I believe, where Barcelona agreed to pay half of Emerson Royal's salary with Real Betis, and it was a total of, I believe, 12 million euros, and Real Betis were paying 6, while Barcelona were also paying 6 million euros. But the difference with this is that Barcelona would be able to keep a player. They will have a player that they want in the team. In that case of Emerson, they had to let go of a player and then split the cost, and so they lost a player but still had to pay 6 million euros. Here we're paying hopefully 7 million euros but keeping a player that we badly do need. So that is going to be the latest regarding João Cancelo. We'll see how negotiations proceed through this week. Now let's move on towards Vitor, because something very interesting happened 2 days ago, and that is going to be regarding when Vitor could arrive at Barcelona. And so it does say here, according to Javi Miguel, if Atlético Paranense are eliminated from the Copa before August 31st, Vitor will join Barcelona Barcelona this summer to replace Dembele. Now we know that obviously Vitor is not going to be directly replacing Dembele. This is just what the reporter wanted to say, but we know, you and me know this, that he's not the direct replacement to Dembele. There is no replacement for Dembele. So the main story about this whole thing is that there is a possibility that if they get eliminated in the second leg, that will give us another guarantee of Vitor coming this summer, because there are two things that do need to happen in order for Vitor to join us. Point number one is going to be for Dembele to leave in order for us to have the funds to register Vitor. Point number two is that even if we complete that, we still have to wait to see if Atlético Paranense goes to the next round, because yesterday they lost against some other team in the first leg 3-1. If they do not make more than 2 or 3 goals to advance to the next round, which we can see here, and overall they lose to Bolivar, they will not go to the quarterfinals, and that will mean that they will no longer need Vitor, because the trophy that they're going to want to go for will no longer be at their hands. Now obviously if Paranense scores 3 goals in the second leg and it ends up being 3-0 and they go to the next round and they go to the quarterfinals, that would mean that Barcelona are going to still have to wait, because they still have a competition that they're going to have to go for. And so those two things are going to have to take place to make that very clear. Yes, if Dembele leaves, they will have the capability to register Vitor, but if Vitor still has the responsibility to deliver and they go into the next round, Barcelona cannot get him yet. The Brazilian club would not allow for Vitor to leave at all, because this is their main competition and they want to win this. And so I know what you guys are thinking. Like, I can see that smile from miles away, right? Like, we all hopefully secretly want Vitor to lose that second leg match in order for us to get him as soon as possible and get him in the summer so we can have him debut hopefully in La Liga within the month of August. Because remember, if they lose, we'll get him in the summer. If they advance, we're probably gonna have to wait for a later date, because originally the idea was for him to come in January 2024, and worst case scenario, the summer of 2024. But if these two things take place, he will for sure be a Barcelona player within these upcoming weeks or maybe even days. And so lastly, I do want to talk about some exits, and that is going to be only about Lenglet. It says here that Barcelona is negotiating with Al Nassr for Lenglet. Al Nassr are offering 15 million euros to FC Barcelona for Lenglet. So finally, Barcelona are working on some exits. We haven't even talked about who Barcelona are letting go, because I just feel like they're having a lot of trouble. Like, they have all of these plans of registering new players, but we haven't seen anything about exits. We have heard some things about Kessié, some things about Umtiti, but that's basically it. With the only real exit we had so far is Umtiti. Not even with Serginho Dest, and we all know that Serginho has no place in Barcelona, and so why is he even still here? But for Lenglet, there is a market, and Al Nassr are willing to offer 15 million euros. I don't think that Lenglet is worth 15 million euros. I think that he's worth 25 million euros. I have no idea why they're trying to lowball us, because let me give you guys some perspective. Lenglet played 35 games last season for Tottenham, and he scored 1 goal and provided 2 assists. And Transfer Market wants to value him at 10 million euros, which makes no sense, which is why we can see Al Nassr offering a total of 15 million euros. I would argue that and say 25 based off his performances. To put that into context, look at Harry Maguire, one of the worst center backs in the Premier League at the moment. I'm not saying that he's like bad, but if you compare him to like the other center backs in the Premier League, he is one of the worst. He played 31 games, less than Lenglet, had no goal contributions, but still has a higher market value and transfer fee overall, because I've seen some reports, than Lenglet. And this is according to the Transfer Market. And so I'm like what's going on here? Like, why is Harry Maguire costing more than Lenglet when we saw Lenglet have a very solid season with Tottenham and he's way cheaper? Like, is there some favoritism going on in Transfer Market or within these like reports about trying to demonize every center back that Barcelona is affiliated with and that they want to sell? Like, literally, Lenglet made a cross to Kane that led towards Tottenham going for the 2-1 versus Brentford. That was a key assist. He made another key assist, I believe, against Martial that ended on a 1-1 tie. Lenglet ended up being one of the most accurate passers for Tottenham, right? When we talk about the accurate passes per 90, he had a total of 55.9, which is really good, and his accurate pass rate was 87.7%. That puts him in the top 4 or top 3 best pass completion players within Tottenham, and you're going to tell me that he's worth 12 million euros or 15 million euros? The guy is worth 25. And so I think that Barcelona should make a counter offer and say, we want to at the very least receive 20 million euros for Lenglet, and the numbers are there to back it up. And so we'll see. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.